Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, fella. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Misfits Series 4 event from last night. We're going to talk about the whole event, and we're going to talk about who each fighter should probably be facing next. So let's get into it. But first of all, I would like to say I absolutely would love to take part in one of these events in the future. I know I only have 403 subscribers at the moment, but you never know, we could maybe blow up at some point, or maybe if KSI is watching, give me some kind of challenge, and if I do it, I get to take part, because I'd absolutely take on anyone. Slim, Salt Pappy, Jay Swingler, I might get battered by some of them, but I'd be well up for it. It'd be friggin' amazing. So yeah, I do love what they're doing, I do love boxing, it would be a great time, it would be a great event, and yeah, I'm up for it. Okay, we'll start off at the beginning. Anthony Taylor versus Idris Virgo. Now, I enjoyed the result of this match very much, because that Anthony Taylor, God, he's annoying, but he got his booty handed to him, and Idris Virgo was the winner. Now, who do I think they both could go on to fight? Well, obviously, Anthony Taylor, it knocks him down the pecking order a bit, doesn't it? He wanted the KSI fight. He's not going to get that now. Who could he fight? Maybe he could fight like someone like FaZe Temper, who's also coming off a loss. Maybe he could get in there with someone like King Kenny as well. He needs to obviously face someone quite bigger and bulkier because of his weight and stuff. Could we maybe see him versus Tom Zanetti, who we'll talk about as well? He's a bit of a stocky guy. Whether there'll be a good fight for him, I don't know. But yeah, those are like three people who he could go on to fight next if he wants to get back in the ring. Who could be suitable for him? But yeah, tough loss. Idris Virgo, on the other hand, is on the way up, which is good for him. He does have a bit of an amateur background, so it wasn't that much of a surprise that he won. He was the favourite, in my opinion. He's who I predicted to win. He could also go on to fight people like FaZe Temper, King Kenny, and Tom Zanetti if he wanted to. But maybe he can go up a little bit more. Maybe he can go on to fight. It's hard to say. Maybe in a few fights' time, it could be someone like Joe Fournier or something like that. It's hard to say, really, isn't it? There's not really big guys. There's not really that many big guys in the YouTube boxing scene in terms of like big. So yeah, as I said, maybe someone like Joe Fournier, maybe KSI, but I doubt KSI being into that right now. I feel like he's got bigger fish to fry at the moment, and we'll talk about that later. There's probably someone who is slipping my mind, but I just can't quite think. Yeah, someone like maybe also like FaZe Temper, King Kenny, that sort of pedigree of fighter. Someone who does have a bit more to the name for him to just go and challenge for now. Because at least Anthony Taylor did have a name in the scene, whereas Idris Virgo didn't. But now he does. Okay, Elle Brook versus Faith Ordway. I did say in my prediction it's going to go one or two ways. I said if Faith can take a punch and is good with the jab, she could get a win. But Elle Brook is like a little pit bull. Bloody Elle Brock Lesnar, absolutely, come out the gates. They both went for it, to be fair, but she came out on top, which wasn't too much of a surprise. But my problem is now, who the hell do you put her against? There's not that many female fighters in the scene as it is, and there's not that many that put their name forward. Maybe you go with Astrid Wetty, because at least she's also won a fight, but she backed out last time. She like fully backed out, so it's hard to say who would you put her against. Faith Ordway, not sure we'll be seeing her in the ring again, so that'll be it'd be a tough one. But who would you put her against? Who would you put her against? Maybe that Keeley, but I don't think she's going to be in the ring again. I mean, it'd be weird if she was, because she did not look into it when she got punched in the face. So yeah, that one, the female one's a bit harder, the women's one. Yeah, I'm not sure who to put them against. Maybe there's some influence out there that do want to get involved, but for now we'll have to wait and see with them. Okay, Ryan Taylor versus Swarms. Really weird one. I mean, don't know how serious the injury is yet. I haven't seen. But it was just basically a jab, and it seems to have caused something of discomfort for Ryan Taylor. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe it's an orbital fracture or something like that, or maybe he did something inspiring leading up to the fight, and that's what injured it. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it was a bit of an odd one. Really bit of an odd one. But it's like, who do you put Ryan Taylor against now? I mean, he lost a few fights, hasn't he? A lot of people thought he was going to beat Swarms, but Swarms is the GOAT. Swarms is the GOAT. I'm going to keep one of my opponents for Swarms just under secret, because he will be appearing later in this video of who I would love him to face. But yeah, who would Ryan Taylor face? Oh, it's a hard one to say now, isn't it? It's a hard one to say. Maybe someone like Tom Zanetti, maybe to build up Tom Zanetti a bit. Maybe Anthony Taylor, could throw him in there. I think Anthony Taylor would probably, destroy him though. Maybe you could throw him in there with Joe Weller. Maybe if Joe Weller wanted to return to the scene, maybe that would be an interesting fight. But who knows, right? But for Swarms, he could obviously go up a level now, Swarms. He could go on and fight someone a bit different. Maybe he'd be a good opponent for Salt Papi. Salt Papi would smoke him, absolutely destroy him. It'd be like Salt Papi's fight which he had yesterday, a bigger opponent. I think he'd cream Swarms, to be fair. He'd absolutely destroy him. But that would be a fun fight to watch. But there's only one person I really want Swarms to fight, and I'm going to tell you that right now. I want Swarms to fight Pineda. What an absolute king Pineda is. Comes out to the Undertaker's music, makes his return as the mystery opponent, and then absolutely smokes B-Dave. What a guy. It made KSI's 2 wins in one night look a little bit more impressive, didn't it? If you have to admit it to yourself, it really did. But Swarms and Pineda both getting wins. That's the only fight I want to see for both of them. I want to see those two go at it, because that would be money. That would be so good. I think we all want that. B-Dave, maybe he could go against Ryan Taylor. Maybe he can go against Ryan Taylor next. That could be like an interesting fight. B-Dave needs to work on his head movement though. He just stood there and kept getting hit repeatedly. Did not move that head. I mean, he did say he trained for the fight by smoking cigarettes and drinking beer. Kind of looked like it. He could take a punch though. He could take a punch, and that's something that you'd give him. And, maybe against Ryan Taylor, who gets beaten by a jab, maybe you could get a win. You never know. Okay, Salt Papi versus Josh Bruckner. Some people thought Josh Bruckner was going to win that. Salt Papi was the favourite for me, and again, I predicted that's correct. I predicted them all correct, if you didn't know. Definitely go and check out my shorts. But yeah, Salt Papi, he's obviously big now. He's big money in the scene. So it's hard to go with what you'd say. Okay, Salt Papi is big money in the scene now. He's had a couple of great knockouts. He looks good. He taunts his opponent in the ring. It's good for money. It's good for business. It's good for entertainment. Who the hell would you put him against now? You know what? Slim was on about dropping down in weight. I wonder. Slim versus Salt Papi on the next card. Would that be something the fans are into? I think it could be. You could say KSI versus Salt Papi, but I think if KSI did take that fight and he won, people would just be like, oh, it's because he's much smaller. He's much smaller, so people would find an excuse for that. So I don't think KSI would do that. But yeah, Slim versus Salt Papi for me would be a great fight. What else? King Kenny obviously called out. Deji would also be a great fight for Salt Papi. I would enjoy that. Yeah, I think there's a few. I think there's a few that you could put him with. Josh Bruckner, again, it's one of these ones like Tom Zanetti where he looked quite new. He looked really nervous, like he was just trying to throw this jab out, but wasn't really putting anything into it. He wasn't trying to land the jab. He was just trying to avoid the left hook, and in the end, he just got caught by it. That seemed to be it. He didn't really do much. So yeah, maybe against someone like Tom Zanetti, who was going to put pressure on him, he could maybe go for the counters and stuff like that. Maybe someone like Ryan Taylor again, someone like Jay Swingler maybe. Someone a bit different. I mean, if Gibb was going to get back into the scene, that would be a nice little warm-up fight for Gibb, I think. Tom Zanetti, I think he'd get him out there. Or maybe you could throw Tom Zanetti in for Swarms or something like that. Someone who has got a okay record, someone who is obviously got the ability to punch, but isn't top tier. So maybe something like that would be good for him. Alright, Slim versus Tom Zanetti. Now, this was a lot closer than people thought. I think Slim didn't think Tom Zanetti was going to catch him, at all. And he did. The only problem Tom Zanetti had, he was gassed for most of the fight. After the first round, he was gassed. The amount of lazy punches he was just throwing, these wild swings. He did catch a couple, but I think if he had better cardio, when he caught those, he would have had more power into those shots and caused him a lot more trouble. and he would have been able to pressure him more when he did catch him. But obviously, he just looked knackered. But so did Slim. Slim looked gassed as well towards the 3rd and 4th round. So I think, yeah, Slim got lucky that he didn't get knocked out, actually, looking at the fight. But I think Slim did deserve to win it overall, just about. Maybe 3 rounds to 1. So yeah, who would you put him with next? I mean, Tom Zanetti's new. Again, you could put him against Josh Bruckner. You could put him against Swarms, Anthony Taylor. You could go for Idris Virgo if you wanted another fight like that. Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities out there for him, and I think he will return to the fight scene. I think even though he lost, he just looked happy to take part, which is all you want to see, really, isn't it? This isn't like elite boxing. This is more entertainment, but it's still great. It's still great for the sport, in my opinion. But Slim. He should have a good amount of fights. I think he'll be one of those people that KSI is looking at, maybe to sort of get that next step up towards Jake Paul. Because yeah, Jake Paul's not going to fight until December with him, so could be one for him. Salt Pappy as well. Maybe Jay Swingler if he wins on the Misfits No. 5 event, which I can't remember who's fighting, but it's already been announced for Jay Swingler. Maybe Gib if Gib wants to come back, face Slim. That'd also be a great fight. There's lots of good fights out there for Slim. Alright, now for the main event of the night. It was KSI versus FaZe Temper. Obviously, it was supposed to be Dylan Dennis, but we all know Dylan Dennis is... Well, the less we talk about Dylan Dennis, the better. He doesn't deserve to be mentioned in this scene. He'd get absolutely clapped by Swarms and Pineda. He'd get bullied by Big Dave. He's a big loser. So yeah, we're going to ignore that man. We're going to ignore, well, that boy. Anyway, FaZe Temper. He's lost a couple of times now. He's lost to Slim. He's lost to KSI. He's obviously still got a big name. He's 6'4". He got the win over King Kenny. Maybe a rematch with King Kenny if King Kenny wanted it. Maybe he could drop down and fight Sol Pappy. Maybe he could go and fight... Maybe he could go and fight Josh Bruckner or Swarms. There's a lot of opportunities for him to go out there and fight. He obviously needs a win next, so maybe fighting someone like Pineda, Swarms, or Josh Bruckner would make sense for him, because he has more experience than the 3 of them. Well, I wouldn't say the 3 of them. Pineda does have a lot of fights under his belt, but in the YouTube boxing scene, he has more experience. And of course, the man everyone's here for, KSI. Who should he fight next? Now, FaZe Temper wasn't supposed to be as easy as he made it. I don't think FaZe Temper hurt KSI at all, and I think that's why he knew it. I think maybe FaZe Temper caught him once or twice early on, not big hits, but I think KSI realised I can just put pressure on this man, and it's going to work. And it did. So again, we didn't get to see much of the skill that KSI has, so it's hard to gauge how good he is, but he definitely needs to step up the level. Now what you'd say is, maybe go for the guy that beat FaZe Temper, maybe go for Slim. Could say Salt Pappy, he looked good, he looked slick, it would be a step up as well. You could go for Tyrone Woodley, Joe Fournier as well. I think he needs to fight at least one of those 4, unless there's someone else that he can bring out. Next, I'd like to see him have 2 more fights, to be honest, before the Jake Paul fight. Only because he's fought Swarms and Pineda on the same night, and he was absolutely fine. And then we've had to wait 5 months, or whatever it was, for him to fight this time, and he's absolutely fine. I think he should be getting another fight in March, April. Then he should be getting another fight in around August. And then he should have a big camp for Jake Paul. That's what I'd do if I was KSI. So I would personally fight someone like Slim or Tyrone Woodley, maybe this time. Maybe Joe Fournier, and then another one of those type of opponents in the summer, and then end it with Jake Paul in the winter. Jake Paul hasn't fought for a while now. Apparently he's back in the gym getting ready to fight another time, but who he's going to be is I don't know. But yeah, I think that would be good for KSI to step up the level again, get back in there, show off more skill, and yeah, maybe take his time a bit more so he can show off, what he's about. But maybe it's a good thing that people don't really know how good he is. I mean, if he gets massively underestimated against Jake, maybe he'll do something. I don't think the gap between Jake and KSI is as big as a lot of people on Twitter and in the boxing scene think. You see it wherever he gets to, he's like, oh, Jake still smokes shit. It's you don't know. He was massive underdog against Logan, and he beat Logan. It's one of these things, isn't it? Styles make fights, and would Jake be able to handle that pressure? I mean, you remember the Tyrone Woodley fights when he put pressure on Jake. Jake couldn't handle it. So you never know. It could be the perfect fight for KSI, but we'll see. We'll see. Alright, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you're new to the channel and you want to stay around, hit the subscribe button. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Alright, goodbye everyone. Bye.